Hello and welcome to Journeying with Bongi, where I share reflections and life experiences, but most importantly, where I want you to just know from my own personal experience that when things go wrong, you must not let those define you, but find opportunities from the lessons you have learned from the situation. In fact, in this video, I'm just trying to answer a question. Why have marriage talk after a separation or a divorce? Why now? It's a question that a good friend actually asked me. Just we were just having a chat, and I thought, I'll do a short video about it. Why not? So the fact is, I jotted a few things, so I'll be looking down occasionally. The fact is that the interest was always there, but it was kind of hidden. It was not made known. And when one is married, of course, you have to learn to work as part of a team where both parties have to have the same level of interest in certain things for that to work. So if interests and visions are clashing, then some dreams may never actually be realized. The second is that the interest and the zeal to do this actually grew more and more when my marriage ended. And the third reason I can give is that it was probably not God's time that it should happen before now. I think He had a perfect plan for it to happen now, because He turned what seemed then as a tragedy into a purpose, a perfect plan. And I feel like it is more of a blessing now because I do feel whole and accomplished doing what I'm doing right now. The question some of you may also be asking is what then qualifies me to offer support or counseling to any friends or couples when I am now single or divorced? It's interesting because I actually saw a question somewhere on the internet like, can a single person give advice to couples? I would say, yeah, a lot of people do not marry. First of all, a lot of people do not marry with the hope that one day their marriage will end. So what happens is that mine was not an exception. So I didn't marry with an intention to have it end. Nevertheless, it doesn't stop the fact that some people actually get into marriages without the intention of seeing it through to the end. So we can't always tell who that is or who these people are, but it just happens that some people have other reasons for marriage. But most couples don't marry with that intention to see it end. And again, to answer that same question, I would say singleness does not quite disqualify anyone from doing counseling or offering advice and help to couples. The third thing I would say to that is that I believe that my 10 years of marriage and the experiences in it can at least count for something. Things may have gone wrong, but in my opinion, there were so many more positives to share with other people and to be able to encourage couples that you can actually have a blissful marriage if you stay focused and do not crumble in times of challenges and difficulties. So we have to remember that many, if not all couples and all relationships go through storms. It's just how you manage them and how you sail through them. Another answer I would give is I am hoping that people can learn from some of the mistakes I made. So, of course, many people make mistakes every day. If we talk to one another, we can learn from those and then try to avoid making similar mistakes in the hope that we can fix other marriages. Another reason I would give is to remind couples that perfection doesn't really exist and to stop chasing unrealistic dreams and fantasies. That's something that really breaks marriages very easily. Another thing I would say, let me see, I put a point here. If you're going through a separation, or this one now is just to move us forward. If you are going through a separation or a divorce right now, I want to just give you a shout out and just say you're not alone. One, you have to know you are not alone. Secondly, you have to know you're not the first case. And I want you to also know you will not be the last case. Every single day, we have people going through these things, and it's tragic, it's heartbreaking, it's annoying. Sometimes you would say, why me? But we have to know that it happens. You're not the first, you're not the last, and you're not alone. The level of pain caused by this will also vary from person to person, since the challenges will also be different. So if you're going through a separation or a divorce right now, know that your case will be different from other people's cases. You might have similarities, but there will be different instances or different reasons and causes of the separation. What I would advise or suggest is cry if you have to, because in my case, it was the first part of the healing process. It helps you, it makes you feel a whole lot better. So if you have to cry, do that. Have a trustworthy person you can talk to. That helped me a lot. Know that time is a healer as well. And do not blame yourself. That is one thing that just makes people feel so sad to a point that it can lead them to a depression. So do not blame yourself. And finally, on that, do not feel ashamed for what has happened. Do not. Society may want to do that and blame you and bring shame to it. No, that is not your portion. Do not be ashamed of it. You have to remember that you probably did your best. And if your best was not good enough for the other person, that is not your problem. Remember, you did your best. Just know that you did your best. So knowing that you did your best should kind of be a consolation, even though the marriage is ending. And if you're Christian, I would say you should trust in Jesus. Talk to him. He's the one person who will always be there to listen, to console you, you know. So if you trust in him and just keep focused, you will find some inner healing somehow whilst you're going through this. So I'm going to end here. It was just a short one to share this and to say I actually wrote something that I wanted to share with you. So I'm going to leave you with these words of mine, which I was actually inspired to write in the hope of encouraging someone having a similar experience as I did. And it goes as follows. Through the heartache and the streaming tears, the shattering break and your sudden fears, lay your troubled head on your pillow and just smile back at the image in your mirror. What you'll see is a bucket full of potential, and what becomes of it is what you do with it. So I'll end there and just say thank you very much. So please do like, share, subscribe, and be thankful, be happy, be loving, but most importantly, keep smiling. Thank you. Bye.